Welcome to my channel. This is Grace Manzi. In the video today, I'll be showing you how to make a shirt collar. Even though it's called a shirt collar, you can also use it on t-shirts, dresses, coats. You are the designer. You can use this collar on any of your projects that you like. Okay, those who were with me in the previous video, we are continuing today making this shirt collar for the pattern that we made last week. Okay, you might want to watch that video first before you can join us if you want to make a fitted shirt. Okay, now before we get into the video, I just want to say thank you so much to the subscribers of the channel, those who liked and shared the videos and the wonderful comments. Thank you so much, and may God richly bless you. If you want to join the team, today is your day. Just hit the red subscribe button and also the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the videos that are coming up on this channel. Okay, now let's get straight into the video. You are going to need some fabric, interfacing, pattern master, a marker pen, a pair of scissors, some pins, your tape measure, and of course the fitted shirt pattern that we made last week. Right, we're going to now take the neckline measurements. So to take the neckline measurements, you're going to divide them into two, that is the front neckline and the back neckline. If you remember very well, we added 1 inch, okay, to the back so that we have an overlap on the shoulder that we normally see on the shirts which go to the front. So instead of adding this 1 inch to our back measurement for the back neckline, we are going to add it to the front. So when we are measuring the back neckline, we are going to fold down the 1 inch, okay, like I'm doing here. So the measurement I'm going to take for the back neckline is just from here to there. And also you have to measure on the, not on the sewing allowance, but in half an inch in, okay? You leave off that half an inch sewing allowance. So and this is how you take your measurement, okay? So you take your tape measure, right? And you stand your tape measure on the line as I'm doing here, okay? Right, like that, okay? So as you can see, mine is exactly 2.5 inches. So that's my back neckline, okay? And then you go to the front. What you do is, we are going to add 1 inch to whatever we get here. But you first fold in all those lines, the buttonhole facing and interfacing lines. You fold them all in like that. Okay? So what you are going to measure, okay, you also fold in that sewing allowance, okay? So whatever you get here, you're going to add 1 inch to it, okay? So this is how you measure again this neckline for the front. Like the back, you also put you stand your tape measure on the neckline like that, okay? Okay, that's 3.3 1/4, okay? So 3 1/4, I'm also going to add that 1 inch, so it will be 4 1/4 for the front and 2 1/2 for the back, okay? Okay, the next thing you are going to do is to fold your interfacing in half and draw a straight line, okay, as I've done here. This fold line is going to act as our center back, okay? So to impute our measurements, from the back we are going to measure 2.5 inches, okay? So 2.5 inches, that's for the back measurements that we got, okay? And then we put a mark there, and then from that mark you measure the front measurements, which are 4.5 inches, okay? And then you put a mark, right? So this is going to be the shoulder, and this is going to be our center front, and this is going to be the back. Right. Now on the center front, you're going to measure 1.25 inches going up, okay, 1.25 here, and go ahead and square a line. Square a line going up, okay. Once you've done that, the next thing you're going to do is just draw a curve joining that line here with the shoulder line and the center back, okay. So you take your pattern master and draw a curve. Okay, there we go. Now the next thing you are going to do is to measure 2.5 inches on the center back here, going up 2.5 inches, and then on the same line you are going to measure 1.5 inches and put a mark, okay. So this is the 2.5 inch mark, and that's the 1.5 inch mark. All right, and then on the center front here you are going to go up again by another 1.25 inches, okay. So you measure 1.25 and mark there, okay. Right, once that is done, you are going to again continue that line to make a continuous line there, okay. And then you are going to draw a curve from that line coming to the 1.5 mark here, okay. So you get your pattern master and draw another line, another curve like that, okay, like that. Okay, once that is done, the collar stand is almost finished, but what we need is the buttonhole stand, okay, that goes on the front, where we're going to have a buttonhole on the side and a button on the other side. So in order to determine how wide that is, you go back to your center front pattern piece, okay. So you are going to be measuring this distance here, okay. Right, so you get your tape measure, okay, like I'm doing now, and measure that distance, okay. Right, it's 0.75 inches, okay. So you are going to measure 0.75 inches from your center front going outwards, okay. So you measure 0.75 inches like that, and you mark, okay, and you measure 0.75 inches again here and mark. Right, once that is done, get your ruler, okay, and again draw a straight line, because it's easier to work in straight lines, okay. Go ahead and draw a straight line, and draw another straight line connecting those 2 points, okay, and another one here as well. Right, the next thing you are going to do is just to continue that curve here, okay, like that. Just continue that curve, right. Okay, right, and then you can now shape your buttonhole or your button flap in that little square here, like I'm doing now, okay. I prefer shaped like that, okay. So that's it. Okay, so that's the collar stand done. for the collar fall or the collar fold, whatever you want to call it, right, remember we measured 2.5 inches from here to there, okay? So this is one inch, because from here to there we measured 1.5, okay? So this is 1 inch from here to here, okay? So you are going to measure another 1 inch going up, right? So you measure 1 inch again from here to there, okay? And put a mark on here, all right? So before you go ahead shaping the collar fall, you need to draw a dotted line here, okay? So that you can mirror the neckline, okay? You see what I mean when the shape starts to come out, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is to draw a curve from this point to that point, okay? Like that. Okay, and you see that, right? Now that we have mirrored the neckline here, now what you need to do is to determine the width of your collar fall. I'm going to be working with the standard, which is 2 inches here, okay? After drawing this, you can now go ahead and shape your collar the way you want. But for now, let's work with the standard 2 inches here, okay? And then from here, you are going to measure 8.5 to 9 inches, which is also standard. I'm going to use 9 inches, okay? So you measure 9 inches going out and you mark here, okay? Right. So after marking that 9 inches, the next thing you are going to do is to draw a straight line connecting those 2 points, okay? Make sure it's a straight line. Okay? Like that. Okay. So you can now join that point to that point to make your collar. So there you have it. Now that is your collar form. Now you can go ahead and cut them 2 out. Okay, there you go. There is your collar stand and there is your collar form. Done. At this point, I went ahead and pinned this interfacing onto fabric on the wrong side, and the fabric is folded in 2 because you need to cut 2 of these, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and cut it out, adding sewing allowances around it. The only other option you can do is get some fresh pattern paper and trace out these 2 onto some fresh pattern paper and add sewing allowances, and then you can keep it if you want to use it next time. But I prefer having a collar for every project I make because you can never have them the same measurements per project, okay? So now I'm just going to go ahead and cut it out on the wrong side because this is a fusible interfacing. I'm going to iron on the wrong side. So fold your fabric in 2 and pin this collar fall and collar stand on the wrong side of your fabric. The next thing you are going to do is to notch the midpoint of both the collar stand and the collar fall. The next thing I'm going to do now is just to iron on the interfacing and then stitch in place around the interfacing, leaving the base open on both pieces. That is, I stitch around here, okay, all the way down and leave this bottom open. Same with this, I stitch around all the way, okay, and again leave the base open, okay. That's what I'm going to do now. To start sewing the collar, what you need to do is to get the collar fold, iron on the interfacing as I have done, okay, and then stitch very close to the interfacing, okay, leaving this bottom end open, okay. I've used a different color thread so that you can see what I mean, okay. So that is it. The next thing you are going to do is just to trim off the corners, okay, and any excess. And then turn it inside out, okay, and give it a good press before you can join it to the stand, collar stand, okay. So that's what I'll be doing now. Okay, I'm going to give it a good press now. The next thing I'm going to do is to get the collar stand, okay. This is the midpoint of my collar. It's nice and flat, right? Get my collar stand, and I want to match the midpoint that I trimmed earlier on with where that pin is, okay. Now, after pressing the collar, you mark put the pin at the midpoint as I've done there, okay. Now you want to get your collar stand right side facing and pin it in place, okay, matching the midpoint of the collar fold here, all right, like that, okay. Pin it in place all the way around, and then the next thing is get the other side of the collar stand, put it on the other side, sandwiching the collar fold, okay. And all you are going to do now is to stitch right all the way from down here all the way down, and the other side as well, okay. I'm going to show you once I've just finished stitching it. Now, once the collar is stitched onto the stand like that, the next thing you are going to do is just to trim and notch around the stitching line as I'm doing now. So you trim around . Okay, next thing you can now turn it to the right side, okay, like that. Okay, I'm just going to give it another good press, and basically the collar will be done. So when pressing the collar in, I'm also going to press this seam allowance around the collar stand so that it's ready to attach onto your garment, okay. So that's what I'm going to do now. Now the collar is done, as you can see, and it's ready to attach to your garment, whatever it is, whether it's a shirt or a dress, okay. So it will just be looking like that on the garment. You just fold it back. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna put a pin here for the button for now. Right, there we go. That's our collar done. Looking lovely and pretty, as you can see. That's the collar done. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, just give it a thumbs up, and also share the video with people with minds like you. And thank you again for watching. I hope you are going to enjoy making your shirt. In the next video, we'll be making a shirt dress, or you can make your shirt now that you've got everything that you need. As for sleeves, I've got all sorts of types of sleeves on my channel. You can pick one, attach it to your shirt, or you can make your own designs for shirt dresses, or you can attach this collar to your t-shirt, or you can make a coat. Whatever it is that you have been desiring to put a collar on, you are the designer. Thank you.